disease model theory is that we are completely powerless. And so think of it this way, is if I was to unplug a TV, that TV would be 100% powerless. And so in this sense, what they're saying is they're 100% powerless, that they can't control the fact that they're doing these things. These things were passed down from their uncle, their great great uncle. It's this pre-genetic disposition. I can't help it, Judge. You know, I seen the alcohol, I seen the prostitute, I seen the money, and I just responded. How how dare you throw me in jail for me just doing what my genes are telling me to do? And here's the thing: people try to use that as a means to get out of their sins, right? But if we follow that argument consistently, this disease model consistently, that this issue that people are having, this illness that people are having, is not actually a moral issue; it's a brain issue. Then we shouldn't be disciplining people for the behaviors that they're doing, right? So then let's flip that, because we need to be consistent. Scripture tells us that a lack of consistency is heinous. Scripture actually tells us God is a God of equal weights and measures, that he desires justice, he desires balance. And so, for instance, if somebody was to break the speed law, you wouldn't give that person capital punishment for driving 10, 15, 20 miles over. You would actually give them a ticket, or you would relinquish their license. You would take their license away, and they would have to do certain classes. Now, if we were to look at it that a person took the life of somebody intentionally while driving, then capital punishment can be looked upon, because it's life was taken, and life can be taken in that result, because Scripture tells us that. I think it's Genesis 9. It's right after the flood, right after they get off the boat. He makes a new covenant with Noah and tells him that blood be shed, innocent blood be shed, then blood be taken. So, anyways, we have to look at these things through equal weights and measures, and we have to be consistent when we look at these things. Now, like I said, a person that says that they have this disease of addiction and that they're powerless, they can't help it. It's not them. It's not this moral dilemma. You don't understand. It's not me. It's my brain issue. So we should let that person go, right? Well, let's look at it in another framework. Okay, let's take Jeffrey Dahmer, for instance. Jeffrey Dahmer liked to do something that was immoral, just like we see with drinking. Drinking is not a bad thing. We see it through Scripture. It tells us whether we eat or drink or whatever we do, may we do it to the glory of God, right? That we glorify God, we magnify God in everything that we do. So drinking in this sense is not bad, but drinking out of the framework of God's design, which is glorifying self, is heinous. It actually breaks God's law, right? And so drinking in itself is not bad. So eating isn't bad, right? God actually tells us, that we can eat of the fruits, of the vegetables of the land. We can even eat of the animals of the land through the new covenant. But what we cannot do is take innocent life and eat people. We cannot cannibalize people, right? And so in this sense, when we look at Jeffrey Dahmer, he goes, look, I can't help it. I have this brain issue that makes me desire these things. I don't want to eat people, but my brain keeps telling me to eat people. Should we not free that man? Did we not have like a huge like investigation of this person who was, you know, putting people, in the freezer and eating them? Sure. So what if he was to walk in front of the judge and say, I can't help it, judge. It's not me, it's my brain disease. No, we wouldn't. We wouldn't allow that. And it's the same way with